Welcome back to the show. We got a great one lined up. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show. You can follow us on X, YouTube, and digperspectives.com for exclusive content. Right now, $3.45 trillion market cap for crypto. The market is off 2.5%. Bitcoin now 109,000 plus. Ethereum 2,500 plus, and XRP at the number 4 spot is 229. It's flat on the 24, but we're up 4.4 on the 7-day. Looking at the range of price, ranging between 226 and 235. XRP has been strong like bull. Just know that. And there's nothing but good news in front of us with all this legislation that is about to be passed and eventually signed into law. I couldn't be more excited about where we are. Before we get started, I want to remind you about iTrust Capital. Now, you guys know, if you've been here for any length of time, that iTrust Capital is the best IRA company in the world. Well, they've done it again. They created premium custody accounts, a PCA account. And this is interesting. And by the way, if you're a new exclusive user or a new client, you can get an exclusive $100 funding bonus, because this is the kind of stuff they're doing every day. They're constantly working to find the new products and services that meet your needs. Now, I want to tell you, first of all, the IRA. I just want to just say this for a minute. I've been with them 5-6 years on the IRA. Tax advantages, buy and sell crypto 24/7, low cost, no monthly fee. And you know what? You get all of the empowerment of being able to control the assets in your back office. That is really remarkable. And I'm telling you, there's nothing like it. If you haven't done it, you're going to want to. Then I start thinking and I speculate, knowing that we're in a very rare moment where we're about to get crypto, stablecoin, market infrastructure, tax clarity for crypto, all the way around. I think to myself, wow, if I had a 401k or something else, I could roll that sucker right over into there in this crypto IRA and catch this .com era boom that's about to happen for crypto. I mean, that's just the way I'm thinking. It's not financial advice. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just saying what a power move that would be to be able to take advantage of that if I had a 401k. I don't have a 401k because I'm self-employed, but nonetheless, that's why I have my IRAs with iTrust, because it's such amazing products they have. But the PCA account is really incredible because it's a closed loop system. So for those of you that just buy and hold your assets, this is something you're going to want to learn more about. So go to itrustcapital.com/XRP Army and use the code at the bottom, XRP6, to get the discount and to get everything you need for the special offer. This is a remarkable, remarkable opportunity, ladies and gentlemen. 1% flat trading fee. That's it. Now, the closed loop system makes sure that you understand that you only come out of that account in cash to help protect you and your assets from being stolen. So if that's something that's interesting to you, and I think it should be, you should click the link under the video. Right here, IBIT now holds over 700,000 Bitcoin, valued at $75.5 billion at current prices. And this is since launching in 2024, IBIT has become the dominant U.S. Bitcoin ETF. And we know we're waiting for more to be approved. Reserve One plans to launch Bitcoin and crypto treasury following a $1 billion transaction and go public. Well, this is just falling in line, and this is going to be more and more of this as we see this. So I tell you, one of the dangers of the corporate treasury, and I'm sure I may cover it in another video, is that all of these corporates put Bitcoin in its treasury and they do too heavy of a position. Remember, Bitcoin goes way up and then way down like the market does. And that downside of the market waiting for the upswing could cause problems for these corporates if they don't have a balanced and measured approach at bringing these assets into their treasury. Just a note, not a sermon, just a thought, right? Nonetheless, We see Robinhood CEO said that they're in talks with the EU regulators about tokenizing equities offering over in the EU. He says, we're confident. We think these are not only important, but they will withstand the highest form of scrutiny. Here's a small clip. Let's listen to him.
Launching this in the U.S. as well. Is there a specific, regulatory change that you need in order to get this done?
Well, for tokenization in the U.S., we do believe that the SEC has the authority to make it happen without legislation, which is interesting. And you probably saw last week, Chairman Atkins of the SEC gave an interview about tokenization. He called it a great innovation. And we agree with that. We think tokenization is perhaps the biggest innovation to come into capital markets in the past decade. So I think the U.S. shouldn't be far behind. I think the opportunity is too large to ignore, not just for retail, but also institutional.
He's absolutely right. And one of the key things he said here is right in the front side of this. Take a listen again.
Change that you need in order to get this done.
Well, for tokenization in the U.S., we do believe that the SEC has the authority to make it happen without legislation.
There you have it. The SEC could let tokenization happen without needing legislation from Congress. This is remarkable to hear because it expedites real-world asset tokenization in a hurry. So now, a reminder, Digital Euro Association partners with Ripple.
That's where RippleNet starts to play into this. So essentially, it's Ripple that has the plug and the potential lead on being able to participate in the digital euro. And with that being said, you have to look at the Digital Euro Association, which is also partnered with Ripple. Their statement right here was Digital Euro is delighted to announce a partnership with Ripple, supporting partner jointly working on the CBDCs and Ripple. So again,
and there you have it. And listen, the big part of this is that, I've had people, my God, shout out to Anthony Welfare. He's like, the Digital Euro Association is not the ECB. Yeah, we know that. The ECB put the Digital Euro Association together, right? So this is big news. And we know that Vlad Tenev is looking at doing tokenization of real world assets in the EU right now. And we know that there is a big connection because Robinhood is buying Bitstamp, and Bitstamp works with Ripple and the XRP ledger to tokenize derivatives. All of this is coming together, including the European Central Bank pilot that is underway as well. And meanwhile, here at home, we know Ondo Finance, which is tokenizing the U.S. debt by tokenizing bonds, U.S. bonds on the XRP ledger in conjunction with BlackRock's Biddle Fund. We know Ondo is set now to buy the SEC-regulated broker Oasis Pro for U.S. tokenized stock push. They are positioning themselves with this merger acquisition to be able to be at the ready to allow for mass tokenization of real-world assets. Meanwhile, Paul Atkins, the new SEC chair, Greenlight is expected to accelerate the race for tokenized stocks and assets, a space already being shaped by major players like BlackRock, Robinhood, who you just heard from, and Kraken. This is incredible. This stuff is coming together so quickly now, it is hard to keep a hold of it. But what kind of an opportunity are we talking about here? Well, let's take a look at it right quick from Smoke Dog right here. 2030, non-financial corporate and quasi-sovereign debt, 187 trillion. And here you have real estate funds, 20 trillion. And here by 2030, 7 trillion for private equity venture capital, securities, financing, and collateral, 42 trillion, and trade finance at 12 trillion by 2030. So there is the size of the market we're after, ladies and gentlemen. How much of that will be captured by the XRP ledger is the question. And then here you remember this comment. Remember Archax? Well, Archax working with XDC and XRP, both ISO compliant cryptocurrencies, and have partnerships with Archax, who said that they see 30 to 50 trillion on the XRP ledger in short order. And, all of this reminds me of how much is coming our way, like FedNow. And isn't it interesting? FedNow is going live on July 14th with ISO 20022. And that is an important thing to note, right? And then we have the reminder here of the fact that FedNow goes live during the same week that has now been crowned as Crypto Week. Isn't that interesting? ISO 20022 for FedWire FedNow goes live during the same week as the Speaker of the House has decided to declare Crypto Week. I'm sure it's nothing. And speaking of Crypto Week, we know we have the Clarities Act, Anti-CBDC Surveillance State Act, and then Genius Act. And there's also going to be a conversation starting soon, to be determined on the date and time, for crypto taxes. So stay tuned for more information on that from the Ways and Means Committee. And all of this happening at the same window of time just happens to be, I'm sure it's nothing, Ripple seeks a U.S. banking license with a national banking charter, would make the OCC a regulator of Ripple stablecoin. Not to mention, they've also applied for a master account through standard custody for that account with the Federal Reserve. And then it's a reminder to remind everybody that Hidden Road has become a new participant in the DTCC netting system to help settle the $2 quadrillion that run through the DTC's doors every single year. And don't forget that Dan Dunny from Digital Assets at the DTCC told all of us, who came from Securrency, which was bought by Standard Custody, which was also bought by Ripple, right? Knee bone connected to the leg bone, said that they can tokenize $100 trillion worth of real world assets, securities, without anyone approval. And that reminded me of not too long ago at the recent Apex, which was a huge success. He was asked, in 5 years, how much will XRP handle of Swift's volume? And he gave the number of 14%. Now that is extremely bullish at my house. Now let's take a look here, because so is this. Eggrag Crypto, XRP, when XRP was 55 cents, I kept on posting and having super positive stance. Now we're in much bullish phase than 55 cents. So he's seeing even more bullish phase in the price point we're at right now than he did when we were at 55 cents and we saw 350 or 450% gains in November. So how about that? That's where we are today, ladies and gentlemen. Now we're going into the Freedom Zone very quickly here. I hope you will join us. It's a short one today, but I need to make a statement on some things, and you're going to want to be in there too. Click the join button underneath the video or join in Patreon under the description box, and it's the same price, same perks for less than the cost of a cup of coffee per month. It's nothing. You get all your daily videos with 0 Google ads. That in itself is worth the price of admission, let alone the extra content that we touch on and all the great insights from all of you inside. So not financial advice from me or anyone else. I'll catch all of you in the Freedom Zone. Come on in. All right.